University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Tonight sees the penultimate match in the first round of this contest. 8 teams have already gone home, 12 teams are through to the second round, and tonight's winners will join them. The 4 losing teams with the highest scores will return to compete in the playoffs, and we already know that Imperial College London and Exeter University will be among them. If tonight's losing teams score 145 or more, they too will definitely return. Now, the University of Edinburgh received its royal charter in 1582 from James VI. Judging by the present-day volume of applications, it's one of the UK's most popular universities, perhaps because there's a persistent rumour that its students really know how to enjoy themselves. It also has a strong record in this competition, having twice been semi-finalists in recent years and winning outright in 2019. Alumni include the writers Sir Walter Scott, Arthur Conan Doyle, Robert Louis Stevenson, J.M. Barrie and Philippa Gregory, and also the politicians Gordon Brown, Ruth Davidson and Amber Rudd. Representing around 36,000 students and with an average age of 23, let's meet the Edinburgh team.
Hi, my name's Zach Jeffcoat. I'm from Edinburgh and I study architectural history.
Hi, my name's Matthew Fricker. I'm originally from Shipley in West Yorkshire and I'm studying maths and physics.
And this is their captain.
Hi, I'm Niamh Clark. I'm from Hollywood, County Wicklow in Ireland and I do physics with meteorology.
Hello, I'm Nicholas Winter. I'm originally from London and I study mathematics.
Manchester University can claim an even stronger record in this competition, being one of only 2 institutions to have won it 4 times. The result of numerous mergers since the 19th century, it is now the UK's largest single-site university. Alumni include James Lovelock, famous for the Gaia hypothesis, the writer Anthony Burgess, the composer Sir Peter Maxwell Davies, the film critic Mark Kermode and the actor Mira Sayal. Representing around 40,000 students and with an average age of 28, let's meet the Manchester team.
Hi, I'm Ralph, originally from Aberystwyth in Wales, and I'm studying for a PhD in politics.
I'm Patrick from State College, Pennsylvania, and I study linguistics and social anthropology.
Their captain.
Hello, I'm Alex Spacey. I'm originally from Fareham in Hampshire, and I'm studying for a PhD in history.
Hello, I'm Andrew Snedden from Godalming in Surrey, and I'm studying for a PhD in neuromuscular disease.
Now, any students who've been watching this series and who've seen just how much of a hoot it really is should know that their Students' Union or JCR has already received all the information needed to put forward a team for the next series. So inquire there and give it a go, and good luck. Well, the rules are still the same as ever. 10 points for starter questions, 15 for bonuses. Starter questions are individual efforts, bonuses are team efforts. 10 points at stake for this. Fingers on the buzzer. Bildungsroman, feminist, orphan, governess and Victorian are among words that search engines associate with which novel, first published in 1847 under a pseudonym?
Manchester Spacey.
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre is correct. Right, these bonuses are on statues of composers. Which composer is depicted in an Art Nouveau statue, quote, sitting under a weeping willow in the wind, as if playing an invisible piano? The composer in question was born in 1810, near the capital of a newly independent Grand Duchy.
I'd say Chopin.
Yeah, I'd go for Chopin.
Chopin?
Chopin is correct. Secondly, a memorial to which composer in Westminster Abbey depicts him with a sheet of music bearing the words, I know that my Redeemer liveth?
Handel. Yeah, go for Handel. Yeah. Handel?
Handel, indeed. It's words from the Messiah. And finally, a statue of which composer in Vienna bears a relief based on an illustration of 1764, showing him as a young child performing with his father and sister?
Mozart.
That is Mozart. 10 points for this. What 6-letter term precedes words such as spanner and screwdriver in the names of tools that allow a measurement of the force in question? So that
Manchester Snedden.
Torque.
Torque is correct. Right, your bonuses are on television series created or co-created by Jesse Armstrong. Give the title of each series from the description. Firstly, a comedy drama that stars Brian Cox as an ageing media tycoon and concerns family squabbles for control of the company following a decline in his health?
Succession.
Correct. Secondly, a comedy that ran from 2011 to 2016 concerning students at the fictional Manchester Medlock University. The ensemble cast included Zawi Ashton and Jack Whitehall.
Fresh meat.
Correct. And finally, a comedy that ran from 2003 to 2015, making notable use of interior monologues and point-of-view shots. It follows the lives of two dysfunctional friends.
Peep Show.
Correct. 10 points for this. What three-word phrase is the title of the 1964 autobiography by Evelyn Waugh? The phrase appears in Alexander Pope's...
Edinburgh Jeffcoat.
A little learning.
A little learning is correct. These bonuses are on planetary transits. Firstly, which astronomer was the first to correctly predict the transits of Mercury and Venus, although he never witnessed either event, having died the year before the 1631 transit of Mercury?
It's Kepler. Kepler. Kepler?
Kepler is correct, yes. Secondly, denoted with a double quotation mark, what unit is often used to show the degree of separation between the sun's centre and that of the transitory planet?
Okay, yeah. Arcsecond?
Arcsecond is correct. And finally, the second and last transit of Venus in the 21st century was in 2012. When was the first? The same year saw NASA's Spirit and Opportunity craft land on Mars and Cassini-Huygens enter the orbit of Saturn.
2004. Okay. 2004?
It was 2004, yes. We're going to take a picture round. For your picture starter, you'll see a map of part of England. For 10 points, name the town marked in orange, whose population is around 110,000. To help you, a nearby city has also been marked.
Edinburgh Fricker.
Eastbourne.
It's nowhere near Eastbourne, no.
Manchester Scott.
Southampton.
No, it's Worthing. So we'll get the picture bonuses in a moment or two, but in the meantime, here's another starter question. Give either of the two names that precede the word chase in the names of areas of outstanding natural beauty. One of these is in South Staffordshire, the other lies largely in Wiltshire and
Manchester Spacey.
Cannock.
Cannock, and the other one is Cranbourne, of course. OK, you saw Worthing marked on a map in the picture starter a moment ago. The pier there, Worthing Pier, in 2019 was named Pier of the Year by the National Piers Society. Your picture bonuses will show 3 more winners of this award. I just want the name of the town in each case. First, with a population of around 180,000 people.
Southend-on-Sea.
Southend. Yeah.
Southend-on-Sea.
Correct. Secondly, with a population of around 15,000.
That's pretty close.
Llandudno?
Correct. And finally, with a population of around 76,000.
Is that
Western-super-Mare.
I go for that one. Western-super-Mare.
Correct. 10 points for this. Born in St. Petersburg in 1845, which mathematician used the diagonal method or diagonal slash argument to prove that the set of real numbers is larger than the set of integers?
Edinburgh Fricker.
Cantor.
Cantor is correct. Your bonuses are on the first monarchs of European royal houses. From each description, give the regnal name, the regnal number, and the royal house. Firstly, a French monarch born in Navarre in 1553. He reputedly declared that Paris is well worth a mass.
Henry IV, definitely.
Okay,
Is he
Bourbon.
Must be around then. Yeah.
And what else? Henry IV, Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Henry IV, Bourbon.
Correct. And secondly, an Italian monarch born in Turin in 1820. He was the first sovereign of unified Italy.
Is that Savoy? Is that Savoy?
Victor Emmanuel I.
I think so.
And Savoy. Victor Emmanuel I and Savoy.
No, it's Victor Emmanuel II and Savoy. Finally, a British monarch born in Germany in 1660. He was married to Sophia Dorothea of Celle.
George I and Hanover.
Correct. 10 points for this. Described as the first modern portrait, Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the young Cecilia Gallerani is known by the name of what small white mammal that appears...
Edinburgh winter.
Ermine.
Ermine is correct, yes. Right, your bonuses are on British seabirds, Edinburgh. Belonging to the petrel family, which heavily built short-tailed seabird has a name derived from the Old Norse for fowl and gull.
Or what's the other one?
Kestrel? I don't know what that is.
Cormorant. Cormorant?
No, it's the fulmar. Usually breeding on sea cliffs, which bird has established an inland breeding site on part of the Baltic Centre in Gateshead? Its name is imitative of its call.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I don't know. Anybody? Puffin?
I don't know what the puffin's call is like. No, it's a kittiwake. And finally, which black and white member of the auk family is characterised by the sharp edges of its upper beak, improving its ability to grasp fish and defend itself against predators?
Could that be like a sawbill or something? I don't know, it's on the beak.
A razorbill?
Razorbill.
Is that a thing?
That's something.
Razorbill?
Razorbill is correct. 10 points for this. Who is the only English player to have won the European Golden Boot, given to the player who scores the most goals in the top division of one of Europe's national leagues? He played for Sunderland from 1997 to 2003.
Manchester Scott.
Kevin Phillips.
It is Kevin Phillips, yes. You get a set of bonuses on books set in US states. Firstly, which southern state is the setting of Fanny Flagg's 1987 novel Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, and of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Correct. Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, 1,000 Acres by Jane Smiley, and Bill Bryson's memoir, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid, are set in which Midwestern state?
Iowa, is it?
Iowa? Go with that then. Iowa?
Iowa is correct. The Pulitzer Prize-winning Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout and John Irving's novel The Cider House Rules are set mainly in which New England state?
Maine.
Maine is correct. 10 points for this. Comprising a colour and the name of a larger different species, what is the two-word common name for Ailurus fulgens? Native to the Himalayas, it's an arboreal carnivore with a Chinese name meaning...
Edinburgh Clark.
Red panda?
Red panda is correct, yes. Your questions are on art in the 19th century for your bonuses. Along with Edward Burne-Jones, which artist saw Jane Burden in the theatre audience in 1857 and asked her to model for him? She was the model for his Venus Astarte and Proserpine.
Could be Mealy. I don't know. Mealy.
Millet?
No, it was Rossetti. Burden married which other artist in 1859? They moved to the Red House in Bexley Heath and worked together on embroidery techniques.
William Morris?
Correct. And finally, in 1871, Rossetti and the Morrises leased which Elizabethan manor house in Oxfordshire? It gives its name to a private press established by Morris to publish illustrated works.
It's completely escaped me. I can't remember.
We don't know.
That's Kelmscott, as in Kelmscott Manor. 10 points for this music starter you're going to hear now. A piece of popular music for 10 points. I simply want you to tell me who's singing.
Manchester Spacey.
Bing Crosby.
No, you can hear a little more, Edinburgh.
Never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love...
Edinburgh Jeffcoat.
Fred Astaire.
It is Fred Astaire, yes. Was that a guess?
A bit.
No shame in knowing. The Way You Look Tonight was written by the prolific Broadway and Hollywood lyricist Dorothy Fields. For your music bonuses, you're going to hear 3 more songs with lyrics by Dorothy Fields. In each case, I want you to name the artist singing. Firstly...
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear a pitter-pat? And that happy tune is your step.
David Crosby or something.
David Crosby?
No, that's Willie Nelson. Secondly,
If they could see me now, that little gang of mine, I'm eating fancy chow and drinking fancy wine. I'd like those stumble bombs to see for a fact the kind of top drawer, first-rate chums I attract. All
Pass.
I can say is
that's Shirley MacLaine. And finally,
a fine romance with
Ella Fitzgerald.
it is Ella Fitzgerald, unmistakable, of course. 10 points for this. What two initials link the authors of The Civilization of the Renaissance in Italy, Panopticon or The Inspection House, and the Gulf War did
Manchester
not take...
Scott.
Is it JB?
It is JB, yes. Right, these bonuses are on physics and mathematics. Born near Manchester in 1852, which physicist gives his name to the vector that describes the rate and direction of the transfer of energy per unit area of an electromagnetic wave?
Anything? Anything?
I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Pointing is the answer there. Born in 1895, secondly, which Dutch physicist gives his name to a vector that describes the degree and direction of a deformation in a dislocated crystal lattice?
I can't think of any Dutch.
Neither can I.
Piazza electricity, but I don't know the name of.
Go for something along those lines.
What do we think? I don't know.
I don't know. Van de Graaff, just say that.
Van der Graaf?
No, it's Jan Burgers, as in Burgers vector. And finally, born in Königsberg in 1862, which prominent mathematician gives his name to an infinite dimensional vector space that is used in functional analysis?
We should have a guess, but I don't know.
I don't know either. That's no problem.
What about the Lorenz person?
Lorenz?
No, it's David Hilbert. We're going to take another starter question now. Thomas Lanier were the given names of which writer born in Mississippi in 1911? His plays often deal with sexual and violent impulses underlying a veil of romantic
Manchester
gentility.
Spacey.
Tennessee Williams.
Correct. You get 3 questions on the singer-songwriter Joan Armatrading. Joan Armatrading was born in 1950 in Basse-Terre, on which specific island of the Lesser Antilles?
I want to say something like St. Kitts, possibly. Do it. That's probably the best guess. St. Kitts.
Correct. I want to go to China and to see Japan. Those words appear on the title track of which 1980 album by Armatrading?
I think it's Me, Myself, I. Do it. Me, Myself, I.
Correct. In 2016, Armatrading wrote the music for Phyllida Lloyd's all-female production of which of Shakespeare's later plays?
Cymbeline, maybe? That's one.
Cymbeline, I could go with that one. Cymbeline.
No, it's The Tempest. 10 points for this. Which scientist is the subject of Edoardo Palozzi's sculpture displayed in the piazza outside the British Library? The work...
Manchester Scott.
Is it Newton?
It is Isaac Newton, yes. You get 3 bonuses on a shared title. In a translation from the Latin, the words, "My mind is bent to tell of bodies changed into new forms," begin which major work by Ovid?
Oh, Metamorphosis.
Metamorphoses.
Correct. Created between 1937 and 1968 and depicting sequences of gradually changing abstract patterns, the 3 woodcuts with the title Metamorphosis are works by which Dutch artist?
Yeah, go for that.
Piet Mondrian.
No, it's Escher. Who composed the 1945 work Metamorphosen for 23 stringed instruments?
Does it sound German? Or...
Yeah.
Could be
1935, so...
45. Too late for Schoenberg?
Come on.
Go for it.
Schoenberg.
No, it's Strauss, Richard Strauss. 10 points for this. A steel bangle known as a kara is one of the 5...
Manchester Snedden.
Sikhism.
Sikhism is correct, yes. 3 questions on medical terms. In anatomy, what term denotes a dense group of nerve cells? In surgery, the same term means an enlargement of the sheath of a tendon containing fluid.
Ganglion.
Correct. What 6-letter term for a network of fibres, vessels or nerves may follow cardiac, celiac or solar?
Plexus.
Good. Nominate Snedden.
Plexus.
Plexus is correct. And finally, the basal ganglia are found in what organ of the human body?
The brain.
Correct. You can take over as captain if you like. 10 points for this. The title character of which novel of 1938 is described by her former husband as vicious, damnable, rotten through and through? Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine starred in Alfred Hitchcock.
Manchester Spacey.
Rebecca.
Rebecca is correct. Your bonuses are on UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In each case, name the Mediterranean country that's the location of the following. Firstly, the Phoenician cities of Byblos and Baalbek, and the forests of the Cedars of God.
Lebanon.
I think it's Lebanon. Yeah. Lebanon.
Lebanon is correct. Secondly, megalithic temples, including those of Tahagrat and Skorba.
That could be in Tunisia.
I want to... Could be... megalithic... Tunisia?
No, it's Malta. Oh. And finally, the archaeological sites of Sabrathus, Cyrene and Leptis Magna.
Libya.
Yeah. Libya.
Libya is correct. We're going to take a second picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a painting. 10 points if you can name the artist.
Edinburgh Jeffcoat.
Degas.
Degas is correct, yes. So you get the picture bonuses. That was Degas as you got it. It depicts a performer at the Cirque Fernando in Montmartre. Your picture bonuses are 3 more paintings inspired by that same circus between 1880 and 1910. I want you to name the artist in each case. Firstly...
That's Seurat, I think, isn't it? Because it becomes the big one. Seurat?
No, that's Toulouse-Lautrec. It's equestrian. Secondly...
That might be Cézanne. No, I think he did these kind of Harlequin kind of things.
Okay, Cézanne?
No, that's Picasso. And finally...
No, c'est Seurat.
Yeah, that's definitely...
Seurat?
Seurat is correct, yes, well done. 10 points for this. Words meaning a variety of dark china tea, a cloud of icy bodies proposed to surround the solar system, and the scientific study of eggs, all begin with...
Manchester Spacey.
O.
Double O is correct, yes. Right, you get a set of bonuses on geometry. In 3 dimensions, what operation takes 2 vectors as its input and outputs another vector which is perpendicular to them?
Perpendicular?
No, it's perpendicular. Orthogonal means something at right angles. Orthogonal is a word. No, what are you going to say?
I don't know. Go for it.
Orthogonal?
No, it's a cross product or a vector product. What is the only dimension higher than 3 in which a similarly defined vector product exists?
6. I don't know.
Yeah. How many dimensions does it? Yeah.
4. Higher than 3.
Oh, 4, yeah.
4. 4?
No, it's 7. The magnitude of the cross product of 2 vectors is the product of the vector's individual magnitudes. And what trigonometric function?
Tangent.
Yes, one, yeah.
Tangent?
No, it's the sine of the angle between the 2 vectors. Right, 10 points for this. On what date is the Feast of the Annunciation, or Lady Day? It marks the day when the angel Gabriel is supposed to have visited the Virgin Mary and when Jesus was conceived.
Edinburgh Clark.
The 8th of December?
No.
Sorry.
Manchester Spacey.
2nd of December.
No, these are very short conceptions. That's the 25th of March. Right, 10 points for this. 2 leaves of which deciduous tree form the emblem of the conservation charity the Woodland Trust. Its scientific name is Quercus robur.
Edinburgh Clark.
Oak.
Oak is correct, yes. Right, your bonuses are on science fiction and 19th century literature. A time travel farce set in Oxford, Connie Willis's 1997 novel To Say Nothing of the Dog takes its title from which comic novel of 1889?
To say nothing of the dog.
Pardon?
To say nothing of the dog.
Come on.
Yeah.
What?
Say anything.
We don't know.
It's 3 Men in a Boat. Ray Bradbury's short story collection, I Sing the Body Electric, shares its title with a poem of 1855 by which US writer?
Walt Whitman?
Correct. The works of which romantic poet are substantially referenced in both the plot and titles of Dan Simmons's Hyperion Quartet?
John Keats?
Correct. 10 points for this. In Roman history, a vexillum was an early example of what object?
Edinburgh Fricker.
A flag.
A flag is correct. Your bonuses are on world history in the 1590s. The Battle of Tondibi took place in 1591. In which present-day country? It was a decisive victory for the Moroccan forces in their invasion of the Songhai Empire.
Mali.
Mali is correct. The forces of which Mughal emperor conquered Sindh and Kandahar during the 1590s? Quickly.
Akbar.
Akbar is correct, the first or the great. In the Imjin War of the 1590s, Ming Dynasty China aided which country in repelling large-scale invasion attempts by an island neighbour?
Korea.
Korea is correct. 10 points for this. Plus, minus, mantra and Kreuzspiel are among the works of which German composer noted for his use of serialism, who died in 2007?
Manchester Scott.
Schoenberg.
No, anyone want to buzz from Edinburgh? Quickly.
Edinburgh
Schmidt.
Clock.
Schmidt.
No, it's Stockhausen. 10 points for this. Situated on the Yangtze, about 300 kilometres northwest of Shanghai, which former Chinese capital is the provincial capital of Jiangsu province?
Edinburgh Winter.
Xi'an.
No, you lose 5 points. Jiangsu province. Its name means southern capital.
Manchester Jones O'Brien.
Wuhan.
No, it's Nanjing or Nanking. 10 points for this. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, which character says, "This above all, to thine own self be true"?
Edinburgh Clock.
Polonius.
Polonius is correct. These bonuses are on colour codes, Edinburgh. A hashtag followed by 6-letter Fs for Foxtrot is the HTML hexadecimal colour code for what?
Black.
No, it's for white.
Sorry.
Secondly, in the colour codes used on European gas cylinders, what specific gas is indicated by white? Come on.
Propane.
No, it's oxygen. Finally, in a 4-band resistor, what number does white represent for resistance value?
10 ohms.
No, it's 9. 10 points for this. National parks near which major Commonwealth city include Ku-ring-gai Chase, at the gong, Edinburgh have 155, Manchester have 200. Well, we're definitely going to see you again, Edinburgh, as one of the 4 highest-scoring losing teams. Congratulations to you. Manchester, 200, terrific score. Look forward to seeing you in round 2. Well done. I hope you can join us for another first-round match, but until then, it's goodbye from Edinburgh University.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Manchester University.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.